I can actually give you a 12 for the game if that helps.
That would help.
Yeah, we're gonna make 4 changes. Jimmy, Jofra, Joss, and Dom Bess miss out, with Folkes, Ali, Stone, Broad, and Wokes coming in to make the 12. It certainly provides us a stern challenge, but it's not as tough as if we were 1-0 down. That is for sure. We're sitting in a really good position. We played brilliant cricket. We'll take a lot of confidence forward into this week, but we won't get ahead of ourselves. I think we're very understanding of how much hard work it's going to take to win in these conditions. We've seen that firsthand in the last week. Had to play a pretty much perfect game that time round. So we know what it's going to require for us to win. But that challenge excites the group. We know the game plan and what it, as I mentioned, what it takes to set things up and all the hard work that goes into it, and that all has to start again. We can't take anything from last week in terms of the performances. It's a blank canvas, and that hard work has to start from ball one, whatever it is that we end up doing. Yeah, I mean, Jofra bowled better than his figure suggested in that first game. Brilliant start back into the test team for him. So of course it's a slight setback, but good news is that it looks like he should be able to get himself fit and ready for the third game. So as long as he uses the next couple of weeks wisely and looks after it, he should be fully fit and ready to go for that from that point onwards in the rest of the series. Yeah, no problem. We've picked 12, so we can go with we can choose the combination that we go with. As mentioned earlier, we can have the same balanced side in terms of straight like-for-like swaps with Stone and Broad coming in for Archer and Anderson, or we could come or Wokes could come into things as well, which adds to the batting and obviously gives us a huge amount of control with the ball. So don't feel like we're losing out particularly with whichever combination we go with ahead of this week. In terms of plans for Virat, we know he's a good player. We know that he's going to score runs at some point in this tour. We've just got to keep him as quiet as we can. I think we went about things brilliantly in that first innings. Bessie produced a brilliant delivery to get rid of him. Moeen's played a lot of cricket with him, spent time with him, obviously in the IPL as well. But ultimately, we've just got to keep delivering our best balls time and time again. Keep trying to challenge his defence as often as possible, and try and build pressure on him. We know he's one of the world's best players, and he'll be desperate to prove a point this week. But what an exciting challenge for a bowling group to have already seen that we've dismissed him once early in the series. Can we do it again now? Can we collectively find ways of trying to restrict their whole batting group, but in particular big players like Virat? Yeah, we'll start with Jimmy. I think for Jimmy, it gives him the best opportunity to be fit and available for those last 2 games. Everyone's heart was in favour of him, being available for this game. But also, you look at the bigger picture, and ideally, if he's available for 2 of the last 3, that's a huge asset for us as a team. The way he's bowling, obviously, his reputation as well as his actual numbers and performances in the recent games that he's played for England. And with Stoney, that means that we could play with a similar balanced attack, someone that can come in and bowl at high pace, give us a real point of difference in our seam department. Or we could go down the route of Wokes, which will give us great control, lengthens our batting, brings reverse swing massively into the game as well. So we feel like either way, whichever balanced side we go with, we're going to give ourselves a really good chance of taking 20 wickets in these conditions. Yeah, it wasn't an easy decision. Dom's contributed fantastically well in these 3 games, and he's made a real impact. With him missing out, the messaging for him and moving forward is to keep working at that consistency of his game and delivering that skill time and time again. Talk about building pressure over long periods of time. And I think as well as he's done and the contributions that he's made have been fantastic, that's one area that he can improve on. But he is very young, he's very much at the start of things, and this doesn't mean that he's going to be pushed back down the pecking order, it gives him an opportunity to take a step out of Test cricket, the harshest environment, especially in these conditions, especially against a team that plays spin so well, to take stock and work at his game. And it gives Moeen a great opportunity to come back into things with all of his experience and someone who's bowling extremely well in and around practice. So it was a very difficult decision to make. I'm sure Bessie will be frustrated about it, but that's good as well. You want that competition for places. You want guys to be playing all the time and want to be in amongst it all, and that's certainly how he goes about his cricket. He's a wholehearted player, and I expect a response from him. Yeah, I think when you're living in these bubble environments, there's huge amounts of protocols and procedures that are there to look after everyone in the ground, and obviously the players and people within the bubbles, but the atmosphere within the ground is something that test match cricket's been missing. So to have that back is going to be great. All of the players thrive off it. Having that atmosphere to build up those big moments within the test will be fantastic. And you come to a place like India, so passionate about the sport. That's a side of the game that you really looked forward to as a player, and it'd be great to see the ground hopefully nearly half full this week and beyond. Firstly on the IPL, it was a very difficult decision. At some point in my career, I'm desperate to try and be a part of an IPL season, and hopefully a few more beyond that as well. It's something that I'd love to experience and love to be a part of. But with the amount of international cricket and Test cricket in particular this year, didn't feel like it was the right time. I feel like I could throw all my energy into it, which I think it deserves, and I don't think it would set English cricket up best with what's to come. So very difficult decision, and hopefully next year there's more of an opportunity to potentially be a part of the IPL, or at least be in the auction.